Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out Batman Superman World's Finest issue 22 by Mark Waid and Dan Mora. The fate of Earth 22 is finally revealed as Mark Waid takes a break from all of the action from last issue to dive into the intrigue he's been building around David and GOG, revealing GOG's entire plan in a pretty well laid out, if a little drawn out, set of sequences. The Earth Zero Superman and Batman are captured by their Earth 22 counterparts and are thrown in prison with the rest of Earth 22's other villains, and it's there they meet Metron, the new god, who has been trapped on Earth 22 for some time now. Through him, we learn of GOG's origins, which are much like his original origins from the 1980s, only slightly updated for the new timeline. Waid also pairs him with Metron, who becomes his best friend during his travels, and it's really interesting dynamic about how GOG was actually somewhat altruistic, and he didn't want to fight and didn't want any war or anything, and it's why he left the third world and why he was banished from it. But upon learning of the multiverse and that the third world was destroyed to become New Genesis and Apocalypse, he soon changes his tune and wants to destroy both planets, taking Metron's Mobius chair to gain more power to do so. This helps explain why he's on Earth 22 and why he's kind of segregated it off from the rest of the multiverse, as he requires an army and wants to use this world's heroes as his soldiers. David's role is also expanded upon here, as GOG wishes to use his dimension hopping abilities to blow through the Speed Force wall and the bleed to access Apocalypse, and to do this, he finally turns the man into Magog. David's role is kind of a little bit strange, since suddenly through this issue, he's lamenting how he hated lying to Batman and Superman and doesn't want them to die or anything, yet he's willing to go along with GOG's plan for the mission regardless. A mission, the heroes learn, is a complete intentional suicide mission, as GOG wishes to sacrifice all of the heroes in his battle to Apocalypse. But for what reason, we don't exactly know yet, we just know it's for something called the Ascension. This isn't the only bit of the plot that's a bit shaky, as the Earth 22 Batman and Superman are now suddenly freed from GOG's control and aiding their Earth Zero counterparts. It was kind of explained away by the Earth 22 Superman as that they were never really under GOG's control and were only highly suggestible to his orders, but that just feels like a bit of a cop-out, and I think it kind of robbed the story from having that moment where the Earth Zero heroes finally get through to their counterparts and free them from their control during a battle and get to team up with them in the final act. It kind of got rid of all of that and just kind of deflated it by just having it being passed off in general conversation. Dan Mora again outdoes himself with some fantastic action, but really excelled with all of the character development going on in this issue, especially GOG's origin, using some really neat visuals to explain the villain's birth and early years. The one choice I didn't particularly like about the issue art-wise was making Earth Zero Superman now wear an Earth 22 Superman costume, since his costume gets destroyed. So it makes them look nearly identical, and the only thing you can really tell them apart from is that the Earth 22 Clark's hair is slightly more grey along the sides. Other than that, you can't really tell them apart at all, and up until now they were doing a good job keeping it easy to tell each other apart, but this kind of muddies the line a little bit more, and I'm sure we'll get to see a little bit more of it in the next issue since it only happens in the last couple of pages, so maybe Dan might have a bit more of a defining feature that separates both of these characters out a little bit more. Hell, maybe that is even part of the point of it, and maybe there's going to be some deception on their part, like GOG thinks he's tackling the Earth Zero Superman, but really he's dealing with the Earth 22 Superman, or vice versa. I think they could play with something, but I guess we'll wait and see. The World's Finest is finally explaining the villain's history and motivations with Earth 22, laying it all out in grand fashion and tying it into some of DC's longest running and deepest lore with the Third World, the New Gods, New Genesis, and Apocalypse. I'm looking forward to what other twists and turns Mark Waid has in store for us in the coming issues, and I'm looking forward to this new take on the Kingdom Come era and the Kingdom Come series and their Earth, since it's really refreshing that we're actually getting a story that's doing something new and not just retreading the old things for nostalgia and member berries purposes. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.